God corrects us sometimes. The Good Shepherd corrects us sometimes. Job chapter 5, verses 17 through 18. Read like this: Blessed is the one whom God corrects. Say corrects. Correct. So do not despise the discipline of the Almighty, for he wounds. I remember reading that the first time, and I really struggled. I struggled with that because I think God's a good God. But here it says, he, God, wounds, but he also binds up. He injures, but his hands also heal. This is tough teaching. You know, this is a real easy scripture that I could just skip over because it'd be a lot easier. But I'm telling you that we serve a God who sometimes wounds us and then binds up our wounds. Breaks us and then makes us whole. But you know, that reflects the Good Shepherd as well. I remember a very young teenager hearing the story of the shepherd. That he would gather his flock together, and inevitably, he'd have one sheep that was just a rascal. And it would usually be a young sheep. And it would usually be perhaps a sheep without a father or mother, and it had been adopted in the flock, and it would go just, if the flock was going this way, this sheep would go that way. If there was a cliff and the shepherd was leading away from the cliff, the sheep would go over there and look over. The sheep would constantly be leading other sheep astray, and you know what the shepherd would do? The Good Shepherd would take his staff and take the front leg of that little sheep and break its leg on the staff. He would wound. Pam, that hurts me too. He would wound the sheep like that, so that the sheep couldn't walk on its own. But then he would put the sheep on his shoulders and carry it. And he would carry that sheep until the sheep's leg mended. And in that time, there would be this official bonding that would take place because the sheep could not care for himself. If he was going to be moved from place to place, he had to depend upon the shepherd. If he was going to drink water, he had to be carried to the pond or the stream. If he was going to eat the grass, he had to be taken and placed in the pasture because he had to depend on the shepherd. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters, and at times he disciplines us. And in love, can't see this sometimes. We can't see this because we're blinded by our compassion, and yet God sees the purpose of the discipline. At times, it's kind of like when Hebrews chapter 12 says, no discipline. You know, this is one of my favorite verses from my RU days. No discipline, for the present seems to be joyous, or at the time seems pleasant, but painful. In the end, or later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. There comes a time that discipline is painful, but in the end it works the peaceable fruit of righteousness for those who are exercised thereby. There's no other way to produce that fruit in our lives.